Is the space inside, say, a galaxy growing, but overcome by the gravitational attraction between the stars? Does the underlying expanding sphere fight against the inward pull of gravity?
Hi, welcome into my channel. This channel is about astronomy and against the Big Bang and expansion. So it is about the expansion, this video. I'm not filming myself straight. This is the way I like, okay? And I'm saying like a tea science or a coffee science. I have here always a tea. This is a black tea or a mint tea. So this is my first video against this YouTuber, PBS Space-Time. Many things he is saying wrong, but he, like everybody repeats always, gravity is attraction, gravity is attraction.
Is the space inside, say, a galaxy growing, but overcome by the gravitational attraction between the stars? Does the underlying expanding sphere fight against the inward pull of gravity?
If you say that the universe is expanding, you imply somehow gravity. Because the gravity is the mysterious force that they do not know what it is, so they say that gravity does everything. So the expansion is related somehow with gravity in their minds. So if you correlate, I have 4 videos against this YouTuber. So I studied a few lists, like 4 videos on each YouTuber that I consider in these subjects: astronomy, astrophysics, okay? So if you correlate the 4 video, you'll make a clear understanding what gravity is. But again, he says that gravity is attraction.
Does the underlying expanding sphere fight against the inward pull of gravity?
Pull and attraction. The gravity is not attraction. This is not attracted by the earth. This was the peasant-like science from the old time. The popular peasants, you are like a peasants, okay, like peasants. You see objects fall on earth, like Galileo said. You see objects fall on earth, but they are not attracted by the earth. They are changing the space, but through what? Through attraction. You see that he says attraction.
Is the space inside, say, a galaxy growing, but overcome by the gravitational attraction between the stars? Does the underlying expanding sphere fight against the inward pull of gravity? Objects in space tend to move around due to nearby gravitational influences. Planets orbit stars, stars orbit in the mutual gravity of their galaxies. Galaxies whirl and collide in local groups and clusters.
Everybody says, like peasant science. Galileo discovered the object fall in 9 meters per second square. He timed them up, like he chronometered them, like with a chronometer, okay? This was the universal falling speed, no matter the mass of the object. A small object with a big object will fall with 9 meters per second square in the same time. The experiment was made on the moon, because on the earth, the air put the brakes, like this station falls like slower because the air put the brakes. But on the moon it was observed that Galileo what said. So it is not attraction, okay? So there was a good guy that believed Galileo, this Newton guy. And you see, he made only one law: force equal mass times acceleration. This is the equation of gravity, believe it or not. Force equals mass times acceleration. You put big G and a small g, and you have 2 bodies. How do you have 2 bodies? Like this, my hand and this. These are bound through a spring, like you see, and there's tension, forces, because Newton says with a horse pulls on a rock and a rock pulls on the rock. This is the example from Newton's book, with equal and opposite forces of opposite direction. So this is why this rock has, if you put it on the scale, some kilogram scale, like this, you see, this is a kilogram scale. I'm from Europe, from Romania. We are with kilogram. kilogram scale. What? Exactly from this law. A force has an equal and opposite reaction force. So if the earth moves through space like this, sticks to my hand to do acceleration, because this tissue responds to the opposite force at my hand. This is why this has a constant. You put this acceleration of the rock, acceleration of the earth, and you have the mass of this rock due to the acceleration of the earth through space. There are two velocities of the earth, one that makes like this, the spin of the earth, and one that makes like this, the rotation of the earth. And you compound these vectors, are vectors from Newton's book. He already knew vectors. You compound these vectors, you see, the earth makes like this one vector with equal and opposite forces. Because what will happen if I speed up the earth? If I speed up the earth, what will happen? You must understand that the centripetal forces will go in the gravity of the earth. So the earth does not have a gravity due to mass, a constant. A mass does not produce gravity. There's a relation between a force and a mass, like I previously showed you, like this. You see, a big mass is a small force. This is like a theorem, like a corollary from the axiom. A big force with a big mass with a small force and has a small force with a small acceleration. The same body. So if I increase the speed of the earth around the sun, the acceleration will increase, because we must answer where it goes. So if I accelerate this, if you have a scale on my hand, accelerate slower, the opposite force response will be smaller. So it will have a smaller kilogram scale, like a response on my hand, an opposite direction. So you now understand from this, you combine all the videos, I explained gravity for him, because he always says attraction. It is not. It is like peasant science.
Is the space inside, say, a galaxy growing, but overcome by the gravitational attraction between the stars? Does the underlying expanding sphere fight against the inward pull of gravity?
Peasants science, okay? So now you understand why you put two bodies. You have one mass and another mass, my hand. And you do not care the attraction, the any factor of attraction, the earth will go towards the sun. 0.0001 attraction. Gravity is not attraction. You see, so this is gravity. But how do you put this mathematically? You do not care. You are only consider that there is a mass, one mass and mass 2, my hand, and there is a force field. This is a force field. This describes a force field. And the force field is a heating force, like I've showed you with Mike Tyson, my previous videos on this PBS space-time. So why differs? Because mathematical differs. There are different triangles that you can make from this. So different areas. You see, if you put like in a middle, there is another circle. So it varies. This force is a heating force, and you ignore now the spring, and you know the force is like a. This is the example from the Newton book. Like you have a crane that pulls so material. There exist cranes even in Newton times. Okay, so exactly like this, there is force. Force equal mass times acceleration. You have movement and you have two masses. And now you know the acceleration, you know it, but not through mass. Mass does not give you the gravity of the earth, because I've told you if I spin faster the earth, the gravity will increase. If I spin the rotation, because you must add to the vectors. Gravity 9.10 meter per second must be compound. If the Galileo is right, you must compound this with all movements of the body. If you rotate this body, there's a centripetal and centrifugal force So if you speed it up, the centripetal will increase. The same the Earth. Where is the centripetal and centrifugal force of the Earth? This is gravity. So you compound the vectors, one that goes like this and one that circulates like this, and you have 9 meters per second. This is a compound vector of force, a force field. And you do not care why it is produced. The sun produces, the Earth does not matter. Does not matter that my hand produces. In this case, you see, I spin the object. The sun could spin the object, but now that you believe through a force, a hitting force, like this. I've showed you in my previous video. You put a ball on your hand and with a force you spin it. You do not understand because you do not know physics. With a force you can obtain a circular case. Look, but if you do not understand this, how attraction will produce circulation?
Is the space inside, say, a galaxy growing, but overcome by the gravitational attraction between the stars? Does the underlying expanding sphere fight against the inward pull of gravity?
Attraction towards a perpendicular attraction, how will produce? You see, this is a hitting force. I hit through these springs, and through the virtue of opposite forces, a reaction that is more important that you are believing. They are manifesting in the spring, always down and upward forces like this. And my hand imprims a force and the body responds to my... Due to mass, but mass does not produce this. So this, my friend, is my first video that I explained to you gravity. Gravity does not pull anywhere, does not attract. So if this gravity is not attraction, how you will make galaxies? How? How do you make galaxies? How? How do you make galaxies? So I explained to you my first time gravity. You download the videos and you'll understand what gravity is, okay? So in my next section, because he speaks about expansion, the expansion of the universe. The universe does not expand anywhere. Does not expand anywhere. The universe, we do not see the universe, only a sphere.
Well, this is a tough one. In fact, an impossible one, because we don't have an accepted theory for what the fabric of space is actually made out of, if it's made out of anything. Even with a quantized fabric of space, it's still possible to expand it or condense it infinitely without changing its fundamental nature. Empty space can be rescaled infinitely. And that's even true if empty space contains something, like dark energy. Empty space does have a very weak energy density, even in the absence of particles. As space expands, that density doesn't change. Remember, the balloon skin doesn't thin out.
No, in this section I will talk about the expansion. The expansion of the universe is false. It's false. He says in this video many stupid things. He cites the Hubble. Everybody knows about Hubble. This dude, okay?
That local motion or peculiar velocity is small compared to the fact that distant points are moving apart, receding. And the further distant, the faster the recession. We call this the Hubble flow, after Edwin Hubble, the guy who first measured the rate of this expansion. The Hubble flow could be interpreted as everything moving through space, but there's a cleaner picture.
But you do not know that Hubble made the expansion on Andromeda. Recession, he writes on the paper. Recession Andromeda, where everybody says that Andromeda is approaching. No galaxy is receding or approaching. No, there exists not a galaxy that spins like this. No, they did not demonstrate that the galaxies are spinning. because this is gravity. A force, a simple force put in a circular case. But they did not know, but they did not demonstrate that the galaxies do this. They do not. So they are motionless to the circular rotation, that it's gravity force. They are motionless. So they do not spin. Galaxies do not spin. And the second movement, that expansion, this guy says that, but he did not know. It is, but how it is? It is, but how it is? But I know, but I don't know. But so it is unclear.
I told you that space doesn't get stretched out like rubber. In a sense, new space gets created as it expands. But what does that actually mean? And what does it even mean for space to be expanding? Does that stretching stretch space thin? Will it eventually snap like overdrawn taffy? Or does new space get created on the fly? In which case, where does it come from?
But let me tell you that they are bullshitting you. They are tricking you. The universe is not in expansion. But let me tell you more powerful idea. We do not see the damn universe. So if you do not see something, how do you say that you are calculating the expansion of it? So he is showing these other four guys. He says that they calculated the metric of the entire universe.
Soon after Einstein finished general relativity, four scientists independently solved its equations for the entire universe, giving us the Friedmann-Lemaitre-Robertson-Walker, or FLRW, metric. You can think of a metric as the coordinate system of a patch of space-time.
The guts on these people, the courage to lie in this way, they demonstrated what? The mass of the universe and the energy, what? They proved what? These guys are liars. The galaxies are static pieces, small pieces. And it is worth a wonder for you that this is a small piece, a conglomerate like this. The galaxies are small static pieces put in clouds that surround our spherical galaxy. The clouds have one day 26 billion kilometers, and we cannot see beyond these spheres. All the galaxies are put like inside. Like that's why they are looking towards the Earth. You see, the galaxies are orientated like this towards the Earth, like this. 99% of galaxies, not like this, there's some rare and a few others, and this angle. And you cannot explain even this through Big Bang, why 90% of the galaxies are like this. Why? You cannot explain this, but I'm telling you why. They are put like this, you see, like this globe. Imagine that the solar system is inside. You see them orientated towards you. Like you put this many things on the wall like this. Many. One, two, three. Many like this. They are all orientated in the middle of the chamber. That in the middle of the room there's a solar system. And this is why they are tricking you. The expansion of the universe, black matter, dark matter, black matter do not understand that they're real clouds. Like in a night sky, clouds of hydrogen, oxygen clouds. Thick, and the galaxies are put like this in the clouds. And there is only one day the galaxies are small pieces. You do not understand that if there could be a cumulus like this small. They do not have 1,000 light years a span. And that's why in the Bible said that God put them to illuminate towards the earth. Because 90% of the galaxies are illuminating towards the earth. So the expansion, it is a nuts case, psychopath case made 100 years ago by the time of Hubble, and everybody says Einstein. Einstein say. They do not know what Einstein said, and Einstein, I'm telling you 90% it is stupid physics.
Soon after Einstein finished general relativity, 4 scientists independently solved its equations for the entire universe, giving us the Friedmann-Lemaitre-Robertson-Walker, or FLRW, metric. You can think of a metric as the coordinate system of a patch of space-time.
Stupid physics, crazy physics, Einstein. So everybody, Einstein said, space-time continuum expanding. There is no expansion, my friends, and the galaxies are static piece like this. They do not rotate, and they are not moving anywhere. They are static pieces putting clouds.
In our universe, it's getting bigger. When we say the universe or space is expanding, we mean that the scale factor is getting bigger. But what does that mean beyond the math? What is physically happening? Space is big, and it's getting bigger.
And they are simply stars. This is earth-shaking revelation. You know why? Because you were let yourself to be tricked by these guys that do not have any correct science.
But where does all that new space actually come from? And is it popping into existence around you right now?
But once I discover it, you must listen. The entire earth must wake up from this scientifically like there's once upon a time a Big Bang and a dark energy and expansion and stupid stuff like this. The earth must. You wonder why the girls are shooting in American schools and why they're flunking the schools and with this crazy physics.
Nearly 100 years ago, a collection of observations and theoretical ideas came together to reveal that the universe is expanding on the larger scales. The distant galaxies are all racing away from us, and interpreted through the lens of Einstein's general theory of relativity, this only makes sense if all distances everywhere are increasing evenly. This revelation led to the discovery of the beginning of the universe at the Big Bang, and it lets us predict its future. It'll probably expand forever, FYI. We know the effect of cosmic expansion on the most enormous scales, but what about the here and the now? If space is expanding everywhere, is it expanding inside the solar system? Inside you?
It exists only this physics, real physics. And they do not know this even. They do not know that these are mechanical movements made in 2 ways. And the kinetic energy is a mechanical movement. They made from the top of the building, they were throwing down objects and see how much they penetrate rocks, the field. This is why in the war the ballistic approach means. Like a cannon, you have a rock and the ballist. You must know what is the force to break up a wall. This is kinetic energy of movement. It is on volume because you observe how much volume you destroy with this kinetic energy. But it is not electricity on space and dark energy. They are confusing this. They say that it is in energy. This is electricity, and this is not even maybe. It is light maybe. True. So you do not understand how wrong is the science on this day, and the earth must wake up from this. Crazy dreams. There was once upon a time 100 years ago that made expansion Hubble on Andromeda, and they say that receding Andromeda, and now they say that Andromeda is approaching, and they are cutting the stars near vicinity. They are in the same plane, relatively the same plane, the stars with the galaxies, and they are cutting the stars and they isolate the galaxies. But the galaxies are through the stars and putting clouds. and they are illuminating the clouds that they are put in. And they are not 100,000 light years across. And I'm telling you this, I know to speak crazy stuff, but they are false. And the stars, they are not like our sun, and it is not any factor of attraction between masses, because they were collapsed towards another. They were collapsed. You put two bodies and 1.111 and they were accelerate, confirm the acceleration on the Earth. One towards another. What is balance in the attraction of the sun and the attraction of the Earth? That to stay in a stable orbit. You're crazy, stupid science. Because it is a balance through a force, a hitting force, like this. That if you throw a boomerang with a circular force, you obtain a circular force and you'll bring back. The sin will make cosinus. In this way, with a force that you do not understand, with a force I make this circular. You do not understand how I made with a force? From my muscle force, I made a circular, and it is a force due to mass and acceleration. You must be wonder, and you must be like how these guys, how stupid they are, and they know physics, and they are tricking the entire planet, and they are saying like, "Woo, it's great stuff. Let's lie everybody." And I'm telling you. Our galaxy is the only body we can see. You believe me or not, these guys are crazy, and I'm telling you science. There is only one day with the speed of light, and these galaxies are small bodies. They do not have 1 second, 3,000 kilometers in span. They do not have. They do not have not 100,000 light years. 300,000 kilometers, 1 second with the speed of light. They do not have. They are small bodies. Do you are wondering that it is small? This is the galaxies are, and they are put in the circuit, electromagnetic circuit. This circuit is causing the planets to orbit. The sun does not have power to mass 1 billion kilometers to produce like Pluto orbiting. It is not having power. They are crazy. What is the connection at that distance between a body 1,400,000 kilometers across that they calculate the sun has a mass and the Pluto orbiting around the sun? Or the Jupiter planet. And they are crazy. The Newton did not say that the Earth produces there is a force. It does not matter who produces. The Earth and the Sun, they are sitting in this force. And they have clearly some acceleration because the Earth makes 360 days, a full year. So you know the circle, you know the speed, so indirectly you know the force that it is hitting the Earth constantly to sustain this force. So this field is inside all our solar system, is produced by the clouds at the border of our galaxy. It is a circular field like this and has a quantity of force. And I explain to you, if you are spinning faster the Earth, where the centripetal force will go. In the gravity of the Earth, so the Earth does not have, due to mass or quantity of force, does not have. If you rotate it fast, the acceleration of the Earth will be fast, you'll be heavier.
That the universe is expanding. The other way the balloon analogy fails is that the fabric of space-time doesn't get stretched in the way the rubber gets stretched. It doesn't thin out and it doesn't build up tension in a way that can pull against these embedded static fields. It's as though the balloon adds more rubber as it inflates, always maintaining the same level of stretch. Let's try something else.
If you rotate it slower, you'll be less heavier, the same body, the Earth. If you go through space faster, like the Earth, you understand that's equal. This law is neglected. A force has an equal and opposite force. Exactly like this tissue. I move to the tissue responds to an opposite force. This is gravity, a force. So they explain to you these guys are crazy. You must understand that it's dangerous for the entire humanity. These guys are keeping us in the darkness with some false poems.
The infinite rescalability of space means the universe can and probably will expand forever with no effect on this little bubble of relatively static space that we call the Milky Way. Well, except for permanently isolating our bubble from all of the other bubbles. Let's just be grateful that we came into being soon enough to catch a glimpse of those receding galaxies. They will spend most of cosmic time far beyond the horizon, in which case we never would have known that we even live in an infinitely expanding space-time.
Enforce ideology that then you cannot reach the draconical distances. Like you are living in like a child stories. Whoa, what big it is. What big it is, the universe. We cannot see the damn universe. Only our galaxy, that it is not a galaxy. Their galaxies, if you maintain the term, are stars. A collection, if you maintain, but our body, it is not a galaxy. It is a heaven, how the Bible says, the heaven and earth. It is a heaven. There are another heavens like this, round, spherical like this, different types. We do not know. We do not know because there is clouds that are blocking any event that manifests beyond this sphere. So we do not know the universe. They're tricking you. They invented this term, universe. In the Bible says the heaven and the earth. And there could be another, like a parallel universe and tricks, another tricks like this. Do not understand that our galaxy is a small sphere. With one day, with the speed of light. That's why in the Bible says that it made the stars in one day. All of them in one day. And you are stupid in a cloud of water, splitting and voided and maintaining energy in the middle, and the planets were suspended, were congealing for atomical properties like this concrete piece. I've told you. So, goodbye, God bless, a big video. The expansion is false. This is my fourth video on this guy, and last one, you correlate them, you will understand that the way that they are tricking you. They are tricking you themselves, and with a bad philosophy and ideology, they are keep maintaining this planet in darkness. We can go to the planets on Mars, Venus. No, they are important and very close. We can go even to the stars. It will take us 50 years maybe, but we can go. In one generation we can reach the stars, and these guys are tricking yourself, and they are pretending that they know science. Goodbye, God bless. I'm saying like a tea science. This is, I have a green tea. I have here a green tea and a mint tea. Goodbye, God bless.